Mr. David, good morning. All right, let's get started. Boom. You know, there are people that trade stocks, and when the market goes up, they say, no more. I'm out. I made everything that I could. I'm out. But over time, you start to realize, man, the market seems to just keep going up sometimes. And it's like trying to combat that feeling of loss aversion. You know, you've had such a great year. You don't want to mess things up. You want to just take your money, your profits, and leave. And then when it comes to tax time, you're kind of chatting it up with your friends, and you're like, "How'd you do? You know, how'd you trade last year? How's the market to you?" And they say, "Oh, you know, I made a good amount. I made a great amount. How about you?" I'm like, and then you say, "You know, I had an amazing year last year. I missed out on some gains last year, but I walked away okay." Meanwhile, the differential between you and the person that stayed in is maybe like 10%, you know? People are scared to lose. You're so scared to lose that you're actually willing to not lose in the first place and walk away with a quote win, which is fine, I think, if you're just starting out and you have yet to experience the FOMO of what happens when you go like all cash or you take the foot off the pedal. I've been really leaning to this idea of like throwing canaries down the coal mine. I want to be wrong. I want to log a red trade and then I will consider taking the foot off the gas. Right now, both of my accounts are pretty up there in terms of investment amount. Like I'm all in on my 5K, and while I'm not all in on my tasty, I'm very well suited in case the market even does a very swift and large reversal. I'm very well covered. But yet I still am continuing to add on to positions. COVID kicked my ass, but I'm back. Welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, I know a few friends are catching or getting cold or getting sick. I did some portfolio um did some portfolio management this morning. I noticed that my Sentinel one position is just so deep in the money with this buy right that I did. I want to put the capital to work. I have like 24K tied up here, but luckily I have 24K in cash, more than that in cash, but like I have 24K available is what I mean. So I opened up 2 AMD cash secured puts. Yeah, so I noticed that again my profits are capped here, moving those profits and cash into something that generates me more gains as we go up. Delta here is very low. Adding more delta, about 50. Slow-mo, good morning. Looking at your 5K makes me want to buy some hood calls. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand. It's really hard to say what's going to happen. I'm like almost nervous of what they're gonna announce, you know. Yep, I added about 50 so far. I haven't taken any delta off today. Only added delta. Um, for those that are curious, delta is the Greek symbol that determines whether or not how much. Not why do I keep saying whether? It determines how much your account goes up when the market goes up, and how much it goes down when the market goes down. At least that's how I think about it. So if you have a high delta and the market's going up, that's generally a good thing because you have more money invested, or you're in positions that are very beneficial for the market going up. Taking off delta just means like maybe if you're a bullish portfolio, you're taking profits off the table, you're taking positions off, reducing delta. Today my delta, I have not taken off any delta. I've only added delta. I've added 2 cash secured puts here for AMD. Morning Rogan and good morning Kaput. Adding delta should mean if the market goes up, so does your account. Hell yeah. That's a simpler way to put it. I like that one. My opinion, again, I feel like I was pretty early, okay, when forming this. Like we're still on with AI. We're still on. I feel like my vision is still very clear. Nothing yet has changed that vision. I'm not sure if SPY is equal to 1.0. I know I'm able to change it here. Beta weighting symbol. But I like keeping it on SPY. There's an argument to be made that I should probably put on QQQ, because most of the stocks I do trade are on the NASDAQ. I'm gonna try that. I'm just gonna change it. I'm gonna see what that does. $380 if I do QQQ. $354 if I do it for SPY. Oh, right, because it's less correlated. Oh, you know what? Maybe... Honestly, maybe it is a better idea to do QQQ. No, but I would want to be... I always consider S&P 500 the market, because you don't frequently hear newer people being like, "Oh, let me put in QQQ." You always hear them say S&P 500, so I feel like that's the more default. Your portfolio is more sensitive to QQQ. Okay, fine. You're making too much sense. Morning, T-Walt. saying you should, but that's why it has higher delta. I'll keep it here. I'll keep it here. It makes me feel unique. SPY contains stocks from QQQ, right? QQ is just the NASDAQ. That's a good question. Apple is in NASDAQ, and then I believe SPY has Apple. Yes. You make a good point. Yeah, I'm changing it back to SPY then. Final answer. Because I'm sure people rarely actually change this. So when people talk about delta, I'd rather be just uniform when talking about delta. I don't want to be like, I don't want to always say, oh, but my delta is QQQ. That saves me a lot of keystrokes later. So the market is SPY. I would say so. Whenever I talk about the market, I'm always referring to S&P 500. QQQ is just, I just call it the techie S&P 500. That's how I say it to new friends. You know, they're like, oh, you know, I've invested into S&P 500 a lot. You know, what's like my next thing that I should do? Is it options? I'm like, no. You put money into QQQ. You know, do something a little bit more risque. I'm pretty excited to end the stream today. Not in a sense that like, oh my god, I can't wait to get out of here. Well, I mean there is that, but I'm doing it for like good reasons. I love streaming, but I'm very excited to work today. It's a Friday. I've been really busy throughout the week, but today's a very free and open day. So I'm trying to end the stream right at 10. I can hit that shower, go out to a coffee shop, and then just like pound out work. Also, new YouTube video coming out in probably like 2.5 or 3 weeks. It's gonna be a video about my trading system, like literally all the steps I take into going from a trade idea to clicking the buy button. I think that one's gonna be pretty good. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're going back on YouTube. Tesla is down 8% almost. That's crazy. The robo-taxi was absolutely sell the news. This is price action where you do not sell puts. The risk reward does not make sense. It is very low. RSI is very low. It'd be hard to argue that it could go lower. You might feel safe, but if you compare this chart with literally any other chart that's, you know, remotely related to AI, this is a lot less predictable than something that's already going up and to the right. You don't need to be a hero. This is the anti-hero chart, I think. Okay. So this is the type of chart where you first learn about cash secured puts, and it's probably the first time you're going to learn about what it's like to get assignment. This is a very high risk of assignment chart. You might think to yourself, oh, you know, I learned about Theta Gang last week, been really loving these cash secured puts. I don't think I mind owning the stock. My opinion on that has changed so much this year. That's not the point of Theta Gang. Theta Gang you should try to actually not be assigned. If any and at all, you should try to maximize the time that you're not assigned. And like put that as a priority. So like just blindly catching a knife and saying, "Oh, you know what? I'll pick up the shares," is a really bad strategy. Getting assigned isn't necessarily bad, but like going in with no plan and then having assignment be like a default like plan B is pretty bad, right? Because plan A is always to make a profit from your cash secured put. Having plan B be assignment is not very good. Having assignment happen to you should be like plan D or E or F. So just my two thoughts in case if any of you guys are looking at Tesla. This is not there's so many other better stocks to look at. Like cybersecurity is doing awesome right now. Microsoft is diverging a little bit, but that makes sense because they have such a diversified portfolio. But cybersecurity, these top three, whoo. And I've been saying that too. I've been on cybersecurity. AI, I still think that we're early. The stuff that I see is just getting more and more crazy. There's just some insane stuff. And something that I've been noticing is that like I'm noticing there's a lot of losers that are being posted about people that are short. You know, and that feels good. Feels good. As long as people are thinking that this could be the top, I'm feeling good. There's gonna get to a point where again, we're gonna have friends or family that have not invested in a long time and they're like, oh man, I finally got in like yesterday, or you know, like I finally got in this month. That's when we start to think to ourselves like maybe it's time to ease off the gas just a little bit. Okay, that's the type of conversation you want. You don't want to hear other people say, oh, I think this is a top, I'm getting out, and then you follow them on the way out. You think about getting out when the people that did not care are going in. You listen to the people that have been in the market the entire time. Don't give respect to the people that have not been in the market, right? So you might have been in the market, you might have been trading this entire time, and finally your friend that hasn't invested since like 2022 or 2023 is like, oh, you know what? I'm getting in now. That should not trick your mind into thinking like, oh, let's put on more right this second. In fact, you should be thinking like, okay, how is this gotten out of the sort of inner circle of traders that have been in it the entire time? Why is this so good right now that they're breaking their hiatus? Like, why is it now? And a good indicator for that for being online is just Reddit. As long as I continue to see people saying like, oh, why is the market going up so much? Oh, there's so much bad happening in the world. We're going to be good. The shoe shiner story. Yeah, that's a good one. The inverse friends and family strategy. Hell yeah. That's pretty crazy how many people came out of that. Wow. It says, I'll never touch options again. Down $69,000. That's crazy, bro. SPY looks like this. And your P&L looks like this. You hanging out with the wrong people. Or you don't have friends that trade that check in on you. You don't have a trading community. You're trading alone. You're either trading alone and naive, or you're trading with a community of friends that don't actually, trade well. Yeah. The news cycle is kind of boring. Ooh, Tesla short result. That's crazy. Dude, if I lose 10%, I start to push the sell everything button. Yeah, I mean, if you're trading on a smaller portfolio, you do have to watch it a little bit better. But ideally, you're taking higher probability of bets that you can take over a longer period of time. If we're trading coin flips on the 5K, it's not gonna be pretty, man. So you gotta take educated bets. News will be dead till election. Nothing but earnings till then. Good morning, man. Good morning. And maybe war headlines. I can see that. Hmm. Dude from Dirty D. Thank you for the follow. Good morning. Shooting my shot. I'm 25 with almost 20K saved up. I see everyone saying day trade stocks. How do I know where to start and what's best for me to get into? Thank you in advance. You're very welcome. I feel like I am literally the best person to ask this question because I'm not gonna show you anything. I'm not gonna try to sell you anything. You don't have to join any course or anything. I think the number one thing is stay away from paper trading. Don't paper trade. If you paper trade, if you don't know what that is like trading with fake money, like digital money that goes through like some sort of simulation. Don't do that stuff. Don't day trade either. So you're not even at the 25K minimum where you're allowed to do it. You would need technically $5,000 more dollars to be able to enter and exit trades without getting a penalty. That penalty could be life ending for you. If you trade under the penalty and you reach your third day trade, you could be locked into a position where you can't close it. The brokerage app essentially like stops you from executing more trades. So realistically, you can't even day trade. Okay, you could sell stocks and buy stocks from day to day, but that's not what you want to be doing right now. You're 25. I am 31. And I help people start from 0 to 10 all the time. I am like the de facto like finance person for people that start from 0 that want to just get started. The best thing you can do right now really is just put your 20K slowly over time and SPY. You need to get used to your money going up and down. Because if you're not used to seeing your bank account go up and down, it's only going to be more violent and feel even worse if you are day trading options. Okay? So you see the importance in that. Like if you go in straight to trading stocks and options, if you pick the right stocks and options, you'll go up. That's great. But a lot of the time you're going to pick the wrong stuff. And that's how everyone starts. You see the horror stories of, Wall Street bets. Like let's go there real quick. This could very much happen to you. Where did that post go? Boo, did they? Wow, that's crazy. He deleted it? Oh, right here. I was like, you just made front page. There's no way. This could happen to you. Like legit. This could be your Robinhood. Instead of $69,000, it could be like $19,000. So get used to your account going up and down. Put your 20K, not all of it all at once in the SPY. Maybe like $1,000 a week. And just get used to your money fluctuating. Don't try to game anything. Don't ever sell. But just over X amount of weeks, put in money to SPY. And then once you get used to your account going up and down, then you can start doing cool things like occasionally buying a long call, occasionally buying a long put, or learning about theta gang style strategies where you sell options. But if you are at 0, you need to just stick with the safest thing, like SPY, that fluctuates. So there are days where SPY goes down, and there are times, or there are streaks of days that SPY even gets a little scary. But this is the absolute easiest way to start from 0 to 10 is just putting your money into here. You might say like, but Joonie, like it's up so much. Like why would I put my money into here? Like shouldn't I buy stocks on a discount? Shouldn't I wait for SPY to go down? The entire premise of putting your money into the stock market is that it beats inflation. If you're not in the stock market and your money is just sitting there in cash, you're already losing. So you might as well lose doing the right thing. And that just comes from experience and wisdom over time, that you want to just do the right thing, then it's okay to be wrong. And also you're saving yourself a lot of headache by going in a little bit at a time. Zoom out far enough, you'll see SPY always goes up in the long run. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why SPY should go up. A lot of people benefit from SPY going up. It doesn't matter if it should go down. You'll hear from a very common adage is like the stock market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. That's very, very popular. But people forget that. People try to call tops. Right now, you should just be focused on one side. Don't listen to anyone that says, oh, I sold out my position, so you should too. Dude, those are the people that get out on little tiny drops like this and then wait for it to go back down, but then it just takes off. And they miss out maybe on a year of gains. All for what? Like $1,000? Right? You're 25. You have $20,000. That's amazing. That's great. Good job saving, Now it's time to put that money to work for you in a responsible way. Because 20K, my perspective on this changes. Someone that's 25 writes me an email, says, Joonie, I just lost 20K doing something really dumb in the stock market. I'm always like, you know what? That's not a whole lot of money, and you're going to make a lot more going forward. When someone's starting from 0 and going to 10 and they got 20K, that 20K is a buttload of money. You lose that, you're going to feel so deflated. You're going to feel so defeated. You're going to feel so helpless. You're never going to touch the stock market again, and you're going to perpetually just continue to lose. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. I started trading options in like 2019, but I've always been invested in the market since I was like maybe like 2014. You know, I didn't start big by any means. I started with way less than 20K, maybe like $1,000. But of course, you're gonna put in more money. You don't want to just make as much as you can with 20K. That doesn't make any sense. Although a lot of people try to think about the market like that. You should be having an auto deposit from your paycheck, or however you made the 20K. Continue having that money grow with outside of the market. So by the time you've learned your lessons by building up a large SPY position, you can dabble with like money that doesn't feel like it's ever without ever feeling like you only have 20K to trade. When you have a constricted mindset, like it messes with your mental. A lot of people think that like trading stocks is like just picking the right stuff and doing all this analysis. That's great, but like you need to be very good at controlling your emotions. When you get scared, or when humans get scared, we do really crazy things that we're like evolved to react to, right? Like if you see a huge loss, your brain's telling you got to take this off the table because it's just going to lead to more loss. You take the loss off the table just for some like momentary like relief, and you're like, oh, thank God I've stopped losing. But then the next day the market turns green, and it's greener than yesterday. But then you're like, well, I just sold yesterday. I can't go in right now because I know it's gonna fall. And then that's where it starts getting tricky, because you start trying to time things and you try to take it into your own hands, but you're just still so new, right? There are ways you can min-max that, but right now, from 0 to 10, you're not worried about min-maxing. Stick to one side, stick to the buy side, stick to the American side, right? Like America will do everything and everything to keep the stock market up. When it goes down, it sucks for too many people. So make sure that you're on the winning side. The winning side is the bullish side. If you're losing, if you start to lose by being bullish, congrats. You were wrong doing the correct thing. You are also wrong while a lot of other people are wrong. But you know what the worst feeling is? The worst feeling is being wrong when you did the wrong decision, when you're the minority. When you're the minority and you're wrong, you bought puts when the market was going up like this, and you're wrong, you grow bitter. You start to hate the market. You start to like take your aggression out on other people. You start to just resent people that think and hope for the best in the market, because suddenly being capitalistic is bad because you lost on your capitalistic bet in the first place. There are so many people like that, you know? Just don't turn into one of those. Be one of the good guys. Be hopeful for the future and that the system will change, but take advantage of it while you can. We're just retail investors. We don't really make that much of an impact anyway. But the big boys want to win, and when they want to win, the market goes up. Best place you could have landed, Dirty D. Thanks, T-Wall. Yeah. But anyway, that's my little tidbit. Just be careful. A lot of people prey on people like you. You know, you're eager to make money. They want you to join their like $1,000 options course. Don't do it. You don't need it. Not right now. Or honestly, really ever. But like, yeah, you don't need it. Dude, it's lonely out there, and a lot of people will tell you what you need to do. Yeah, I mean, granted, I told him what he needs to do too. So there are like, there's layers to it. It's really just on who you trust. It's who you trust, right? Like, I could just be giving you all the wrong types of information too. I'm pretty biased in how I think, right? Like, I clearly think that the way that I'm giving you like these bits of wisdom is the way that I would do it. But you know, I do show my profit loss for the year. I do show the amount that I trade with. I do show all the trades that I trade. You might not be able to make sense of it right now, but you're going to find it that it's pretty unique that I share like how much I'm up or down for the year. I always make sure that people that know or people that follow me on the podcast or the website know that I always share this number no matter what. Don't take advice from people that don't show you this number. Too many people be hiding the losing trades. It's annoying. Like, imagine being so confident in how you post posts, in how you speak into a microphone, how you record yourself, how you upload videos, and you don't share this number, and you try to shill a course, you try to shill option strategies without showing this number. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. I think it's like one of the biggest pet peeves I have in my entire life. It's not just in trading. It's like in my entire life. When people talk their mouths off of how good they are, or how, you know, how much gains they get, without showing the profit loss. It's so weird. It's so I can't get over it. I will admit, it does confuse me looking at all this. I've been doing manual labor since 15, so I have no experience in any of this. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you've put in a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of tears into your money. So you have to protect it. Okay? You have to protect that money. And that means just putting in SPY. You're good. You'll be okay. $20,000 after doing manual labor to get up to 20K, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. At 25, dude, hell yeah. All right, we're about 20 minutes away from the stream ending. Or maybe we'll say 15. I'll give it like a 5-minute outro. The market's kind of just chilling. Putting in a SPY means you automatically outperform 90% of people. Yeah, actually. That makes actually so much sense because, you know, 90% of people actually lose money from the stock market. So just by instantly just putting it in something that generally goes up, yeah, you beat 90% of people. That's a great way to look at it, actually. Microsoft is not having like the best time right now. That's okay. That's why I bought a call instead of a CSP. I didn't like the risk of it continuing down the downtrend. But if it does make a moonshot up, I'd love to partake. Maybe it moonshots up, I sell the further out the money call, make it a call debit spread or something. Where do I find this to get started? Check it out. It sounds like my safe bet is dropping $1,000 into SPY. Can you explain exactly what SPY is and why it's better and the safest bet for me to start investing in? SPY is good because it's a collection of companies, okay? It's called a exchange traded fund. Is that what an ETF stands for? But anyway, it's a collection of companies instead of just one company. It has companies like Apple and other just different companies that you've heard of, okay? And there's 500 of them. SPY is S&P 500. So S&P Y is the Roman numeral for 500. That blew my mind when I figured that out. But that's why it's called SPY and not like SP and the number 500. So SPY is S&P 500, which you might have heard from other people talk about. In order to get started, you need to be on a brokerage. I don't know how new you are, but you gotta download either Robinhood or Tasty Trade. And then you slowly start putting $1,000 into SPY, and that means you put like you go to here and you put in a buy order for dollars, and you just put in $1,000 like this. Oh, you have Acorn. I see. Yeah. Here, hold on. Let me duplicate this tab. Acorn is pretty cool. I see. So Acorn is actually down the street from me, or down a few blocks. I live very close to Acorn headquarters. I'd rather use Robinhood. That's my referral link. We both get something from it. Dude, it's really rare to meet someone that hasn't used Robinhood. If you already have a Robinhood account, don't worry about using this link. But I would probably transfer your money out of Acorn and put it into Robinhood. The UI is just much better. It's gonna be a lot more friendly. I would say for newer people, it's probably industry standard. The UI is just too simple to not be in. As you see here on the screen. So don't sign up right now. Like, sign up later. There's no rush to do that. But like, you'd go here, you'd type into the search bar top, you go SPY, and then you would buy in dollars, and you just put in $1,000 here, and this will buy you 1.72 shares. And then you review the order. I don't have enough money in my Robinhood account to do it, but yeah, you just buy $1,000 at a time. You could, and this is one of the better parts, you could do this right here. You could have a buy order, change the buy order to what's called recurring investment. You put in $1,000, starts today, and then you do every week, and then you do buying power. Boom. And you press review order and you go. So now you don't have to worry about the timing either. And then what you get after everything is said and done is you get to view your account through this really nice graph. Like this. This is really good if you are just putting money into SPY. Right here. As soon as you want to start doing more advanced things, you have to be moving to something like Tasty, though. But that will come much later. Like, I don't think you'll be worrying about that for at least until your money is fully invested. I really do feel that way. I think in 20 weeks you will then have a better head to ask better questions. Because, imagine going and trying to learn what everything on this screen means. That'd be really daunting. It'd be very overwhelming. But say, for example, you start putting $1,000 into SPY every week, and you're able to like see how SPY or the market affects your profit loss. That you're like consciously buying every week $1,000 worth of something. How does that affect me? And by the time you have 20K invested, maybe, if we're lucky, SPY continues going up, you have like 22K, or maybe 21K, depending on how much the market has gone up. But yeah. While you are investing, it doesn't mean that you just stick with putting $1,000 in and then you just don't look at the stock market anymore, right? You could take that time when you're doing the auto deposits to look up other stocks that you might want to invest in down the line, because there's going to get to a point where you learn about penny stocks. You start learning about, again, long calls or long puts. You're going to start looking at different subreddits that are going to show you that you can make a lot of money doing something insanely risky. But you might not know that it's risky, but you're going to find out really quickly that it is when you lose. So we want to maximize the chance of your success by getting you started off on the right foot first, doing something more responsible. There's also something called the IRA, the Investment Retirement Account, that you probably want to set up, which I believe I don't want this to pull up any sensitive information. I'm gonna click on retirement. Yeah, whoa, 3% IRA match. What the hell? Damn. That's kind of crazy. Huh. Anyway, you should start an IRA as well. Click on you would put in your 20K and then you click on this tab here that says retirement, and then you would put your 20K into, or how much is the yearly limit? Not income, IRA contribution limit. $7,000. Yeah, so 7,000 of those dollars will go into a retirement account. There are many reasons why you need to do that. I don't know if I want to go into too nitty-gritty detail, but I'll give you the rundown. This is the last topic for today. I'm trying to change someone's life for the foreseeable future. Okay, like this is absolutely probably the most impact I can humanistically make. So you have 20K and you're about to put it in Robinhood. Okay, when you put it in Robinhood, it can go into what's called your individual brokerage account, which is like what you see on the screen here. But it could also go into what's called an IRA. An IRA is an individual retirement account. I think that's what it stands for. And literally everyone in the world should have one, but not everyone doesn't, because a lot of people are not financially literate. Okay, some people just never learn to study them or like get into those. There are pretty cool tax things that you can do to offset taxes later. And the benefit of putting money into this IRA is essentially you don't get taxed on those dollars, or the timing of the tax is different. That benefits you a lot. Okay, so you can see why like adding money to your IRA is really good, and that's why there's actually a limit of how much you can put in per year. I love saying this, and I think this is why it clicks for so many people. It's such a good deal putting your money into an IRA that there's a limit to it. Like you can't just put all of your 20K into the IRA. You can only put $7,000 per year. The tricky thing is withdrawing. Withdrawing is there's a penalty to it. You can still do it, but there's a penalty. But typically, this is the money that you're putting in and putting away, so that later on in the future, when you are retired, you get to take it out and enjoy the benefits of like your different taxed money. Okay, it's very good. Not a lot of people do it, and the earlier you start, the better, right? Like I started my IRA. Dude, honestly, I think I started a little bit later than you, and I even now, I wish I had started like at 18. You can start at 18, but you're 25 now. You might feel a little bit behind. There are some 40-year-old people that don't have IRAs, and I have no idea how they're going to retire. There are also people that don't have IRAs that work paycheck to paycheck, and that work like a manual labor job. I don't know how the hell you're gonna survive later when your body doesn't let you do manual labor. You're not preparing for the future. It's a scary thought to have. So the sooner you do this, the better. I feel like I just want to slam this this 8K that I have in my individual on the individual to put it in retirement. I wonder if I could do that. If I go to retirement here, can I just move my individual into an IRA? Will it do that? Instantly get up to 3% extra on every dollar you contribute every year. That's so insane. It's hard to beat this, dude. This is a very competitive offer. Like why am I not doing this? I don't know. I feel like, I'm on Wealthfront. My IRA is with Wealthfront, and Wealthfront has been killing it for me. It's like 30 something percent this year. So maybe it's like, if it's not broke, don't touch it. Maybe it's better off that I don't choose my own stocks. Oh, dude. I like how I'm saying, oh, dude, and your nickname's dude. Today doesn't have to be the only day where I'm just like regurgitating all this stuff. Like, I would honestly feel better if you came to the stream, not every day, because I stream Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., but just whenever you have a question. I want to be here for you. I'm never going to try to sell you anything. I don't want to take your money. I want to have you actually start off on a good foot, because it pains me that you actually manually, probably have rough hands, right? Like if I shook your hand, it'd probably give me like it probably feel like sandpaper. Okay, you worked hard for your money. You did manual labor. Having that money potentially vanish, like that like almost pains me just thinking about it. So I want you to feel like you can always just stop by and ask me a question. Don't even sub. Don't do any of that. So just come with questions. I'll always make time for you. This is a very critical time in your life, and this is like top 3 reasons why I do this. Is that I feel like I actually make an impact when people like you come in, and it makes me feel good. So I'm kind of selfish about it too, because I want to feel good. I want to start off the day with a good feeling. So yeah, but today is a day where I do want to get started on my work. So thank you all for stopping by. Let me see if I need to. If you could get your mental game right, you would be so far ahead of anybody your age. That's correct. The IRA match is so tempting. Yeah, I mean, Feta, I think we're gonna. I don't know, man. I wonder. It just everything just hinges on next week's announcement, dude. Like I'm always just thinking, like, man, are they gonna create some logging solution? Like, I am anytime Robinhood announces something, I'm just like always antsy about it. I always gotta be ready. But yeah, I'm gonna go work on a script for YouTube video. I'll be working on the V5 of the website. I've already recorded this week's podcast episode. Joonie, I have an IRA. I will retire before my wife, who has no intention of retiring prior to 70 years old. Should we divorce to do Roth conversions? XD. Do you have a YouTube video on DCA or this topic asking for a friend? No, I don't right now, but that honestly sounds like a really good idea of like 0 to 10 in option, or 0 to 10 for stocks. That's very good, actually. Feta, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. I will stop in as frequent as I can. You said Monday through Friday starting at 9 a.m. Yes, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if it's 11:57 where you are, you're probably Central. Oh, dude, no worry. Okay. Today my 5K challenge account hit all-time high. Thankful for it. Getting very lucky, but I'm a very firm believer that you create your own luck. There's a lot of conviction that has to happen, and there's a lot of not selling as it gets more green that needs to happen. In terms of my main account here, this one is also at all-time high. And for the VOD watchers, I appreciate you guys. These are my positions here. And going to my history tab. The only thing that I did today was open 2 AMD cash secured puts. And then this is my yearly gains. Going to go and reverse that order. Unrealized gains, unrealized losses. This is my money in my pocket. This is money out of my pocket. Very proud of like how far I've come as like as a stock and options trader. Feels pretty cool that I don't have a finance background, that I'm able to execute like this and in front of people live, showing my profit loss year to date. It's a really cool feeling. Beginning really lucky, but again, creating my own luck. And I look forward to finishing off the rest of the year with everyone that's been tuning in. Thank you, man. As you said, it seems like a lot of others are just trying to sell a course, so I'm eager to actually just learn from you. And it's free. Everything I do here is free. Later, guys. I'll be in the chat just a little bit longer. I guess I'll kind of just like tidy up my desk, getting ready. But it's shower time, I think. Wear a hoodie, charge my headphones a little bit while I'm showering, and then head off to the coffee shop. Later, Rogan. Control Freak, later. Mr. Kaput, thanks for stopping by. T-Wall, peace out. Happy Friday. Alrighty, y'all. For anyone that's tuned in or maybe forgot to close a tab that are still here, I want to say that doing your own thing is really scary. A lot of you are probably working your 9 to 5. And from the very other side, because I'm, doing my own thing, 9 to 5 sounds pretty nice, man. So if you're working 9 to 5 right now, it's pretty good. The only thing that I would say that I would be very cognizant of right now is if you're working 9 to 5 and you're, say for example, you haven't gotten a raise, you need to be going pretty strong in the market right now. You need to, if you can't get that raise, maybe because the job market is kind of weak, you need to make your gains from the market. That doesn't mean going long calls or trying to time long puts or anything, but you need to be saving your money in the market or investing in the market. Don't be living paycheck to paycheck right now. We don't know where necessarily the job market's gonna go, but man, if I was this bullish and I had a job where I was making tons of money like I was before, I low-key think I would have a house right now. But I made the decisions that I've made, and I consciously choose to do this full time. But these are just some of the things I think about. So I want to pass this experience to you guys. I wouldn't call this wisdom, but it's just something that I'm observing. So if you're working right now and you don't have an auto deposit going to the market, dude, it doesn't even matter if today was the very tippy top. The point is that this is a good decision for you regardless. Take advantage of your good spot right now. Take advantage of the job that you have that you're working on right now, especially if you're able to watch a Twitch stream while you work. Bro, your job is pretty good. Maximize.